WBC and IBF.
I'm so excited for this fight. There is no nonsense here.
Well, we're all set. Let's go into the ring for the classy Jimmy Lennon Jr.
This bout is scheduled for 8 rounds of boxing. Fighting out of the red corner, from Manassas, Colorado, a true legend of boxing, here is one of the all-time greats of the sport, the acclaimed heavyweight champion of the world, known as the Manassas Mob.
You can tell both of these fighters are exuding confidence as they touch gloves, and here we go.
Which fans are going to be happy, which fans are going to be sad? I don't know, but it's the argument I love.
What a great venue, and what a great matchup. Cannot wait for this one. These two fighters promised us an offensive show. Let's see if they deliver. And he scores with the counter. They exchange punches. Well done with that counter shot. A swing and a miss with that jab. Didn't land that jab. You can really feel the buzz in the air tonight. So much hype here in this arena.
This is not just hype. We are in for something special tonight. What an arena, what an atmosphere, what a build-up.
He misses with that straight left. Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. Good counter punch. They both want a knockout, you can tell. He missed with that jab. Misses with the jab. Punch, counter punch. Has to be careful for that. This round's still up for grabs. Whoa, wait a minute. Antonio Tarver's in big trouble. Talk about Dempsey in that last round. Well, this is the time that the trainer needs to come in and say something special. This fighter needs to turn the table. Here we go, round 2. Who's going to land the first big shot? Coming off a very tough round. Let's see what they do here.
They've had 1 minute to recover. Now they've got to bluff it. They've got to bluff it. They've got to come out now and style it out. Get on the back foot, jab. Rest on the jab. Be smart and pop until your legs come back. Then put the pressure on.
Nice counter punch right up the middle. This fighter has that swarmer's mentality, taking away an opponent's reach, getting on the inside and just banging and banging and banging.
Swarmers, you can go back in boxing history. When you've seen them, when you've seen the best of the best swarmers going, you understand how hard it is. It looks exciting from the outside in. Can you imagine being right in there?
Looking to land the hook. Swinging big and missing big with that hook. Missing with that right hook. If you're a counter puncher, then basically you do the counter attack. You let them get their punch off first, and then you answer in kind.
Counter puncher's my favorite kind of fighter. A good counter puncher, they're the people that make the history of our sport. Deciding to let it all hang out here in this round.
very competitive round with 10 seconds left. Let's talk about Dempsey in that last round. The game plan does not seem to be working here. What's he have to do different?
Come on. You've led him back into this.
Here we go in round 3. Who's going to land the first big shot? Off their stools and ready to go. Let's hope this round is more competitive.
This is one of those situations. You've just been hurt. You've got to get out there again. Be smart. Be sharp. Don't be a fool. Don't get suckered in. Make him fight your fight. Hold him. Tie him up just until your head clears again and your legs come back again. Because if you don't, he's going to pop you off.
You can tell he's stronger, but he's not faster. How about that time counter shot? They've got to use their jab better in this fight. Down goes Jack Dempsey. Oh, my goodness. I want to see that one more time.
That's lights out right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Give me your ball.
The referee says we will fight on. Not sure about this one.
Oh, he can smell blood. Look at that. He's put in down once. He knows what shot works and where to land it. Then try and do it again. He's just not got to get trigger happy.
This fighter expending a lot of energy in this round. Seconds to go, and what domination we've seen in this round. Let's talk about Dempsey in that last one.
Switch on.
Back at it in round 4. His eyes look pretty clear here, Johnny. How do you think he's going to do after being knocked down in the last round?
That knockdown we just saw was a heavy knockdown. I'd be very, very surprised if he'll come out fresh as a daisy. That's not going to happen. He's got to hustle now. He's got to bluff them.
Nice counter. A lot of effort being exerted here. One punch could end this fight for either of these two heavyweights.
Sometimes when you get in there...
And Dempsey goes down. We knew his chin would get tested in this fight, and it failed him miserably.
You're right, Todd. What a shot.
Referee deems they can continue, but this might be a big mistake.
The corner need to think nice and sharp. They know their fight. They know what their fight is capable of doing and what their fight can and cannot take. This is going to be a tough decision to make.
He's got the advantage halfway through the round.
The corners must be so happy. Down to a T. Play the plan out to a T. If they can pick up momentum and do this over and over and over again, they've got it.
Swing and a miss with that hook. Beautiful counter shot. They block that jab. Final 10 seconds here, unless we get some late drama. I think we all know who won this round. Tarver's been rocked. Let's talk about Dempsey in that last round. You got to wonder how big of a factor that knock.
Line back on the job.
Things are starting to heat up now as we enter the fifth. They really got banged up last round. What can they do here to change the momentum?
What a heavy knockdown. How are they going to come back from that? They staggered back to the corner. They've got to freshen them up, alert them again, get them back on point again. This round, they've got to coast around. Don't get involved. Give yourself another 3 minutes to get your head clear.
This fighter has determined that they can walk through any punches that their opponent throws, and that's a very confident spot to be in.
Todd, you know what? Sometimes when I've done in the ring with fights like that, and you punch them, you just want to run. You want that spaceship to come and lift you out of there because you think,
whoa, Johnny, take a look at this action. Oh no, Dempsey is hurt. And it appears they weathered the storm. How? I'm not sure.
Defense, defense, defense is everything because they got shot once. They know they can get caught again. So for now, just defense. Work on defense. Block it.
Oh my goodness, Johnny. Tarver in some serious trouble. Keeping those gloves. He takes a knee, buys time, collects himself.
That must have really dented the ego. You don't want your opponent to see you do that.
Nice counter shot. Let's talk about Dempsey in that lap.
I love it. That just flipped.
And there's the bell for round 6. This fight has been very one-sided. What are we going to have in this round?
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
Nice idea with the jab, but does not land. There's a counter shot. The jab not finding its target. What do you think of what we've seen so far from these two boxers, Johnny?
I've never seen a fighter so fast in my life. How do you deal with this? You've got to hope they run out of steam.
Beautiful counter punch. Can they figure out the combination to this safe?
Perfectly matched. Skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them. More than happy.
Every time he throws a punch, a receipt is coming right back. Walk away from each other and then run right back into trouble. Can't throw out a lazy jab in this fight. You're gonna get knocked out. Nice counter shot. You know the scorecards are gonna be all over the place in this one. Let's talk about Dempsey.
Let him back into the fight that
And there's the bell for round 7. So not the best round, but let's see if they can turn it around here.
That was a tough last round. Now you've got to make sure he doesn't put it on him. That's what he's going to try and do. So tie him up, hold him, lean on him. Don't get drawn into a fight. Not yet. Not until your senses have come back.
One punch changes everything in this division. It's the heavyweights.
I've seen certain fighters that can depend on just their power alone. Forget tactics. They know the second they touch you, it's done. That's where the confidence comes from.
Good counter punching. fear you have with this fighter is, has he punched himself out? Jack Dempsey. Oh, boy. Down goes Jack Dempsey. I don't know. I got to take another look at that.
I need to see that again.
Showing a lot of heart to beat the count there.
Well, now it's about getting back to the corner, freshen up, get new instructions given to you, and they've got to G you up. They've got to tell you what you're doing wrong and what you're doing right.
His stamina is... Hold that thought! Oh, that one caught Tarver clean, and he might go down. Much better game plan here.
Now they've got to wake up. They've got to get on the back foot, clear the head a little bit, then jump back into it again. It's all up.
So we enter the final 10 seconds here in a pretty dominant display. Let's talk about Dempsey in that last round.
What are you doing?
There's the bell to start round 8. Got to get the momentum shift coming their way. What can they do here?
What a knockdown. 1 minute. You need 1 hour to get over a shot like that. Now it's down to conditioning. Now it's down to mental strength and preparation. It's how you are going to deal with this.
Throws the jab and doesn't score. Catch and shoot. And he wasn't ready for that counterpunch. You can't make a mistake at the heavyweight level and not expect to be punished for it. One of the best attributes to have in boxing has nothing to do with boxing. It's how well you can take a punch to the face.
Because you've got a good chin doesn't mean you've got leather skin. It means you can still get caught. So you've got to go for those pointed areas, over the eyebrow, the cheekbone. You've just got to try and cut them, skim and go for speed.
Tough to be a judge in this fight as both fighters have had their big moments.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. She's like a match made in heaven.
Throws the jab but does not score. Got out of the way of that right hook. You can see the heavy breathing, but that's not slowing him down. Stamina is off the charts. Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. So it was certainly close, a big majority win.
I didn't think it was going to be that close. I really didn't. I thought this was a one-sided fight. It was like a walk in the park. But for the fight to be so close shows how much these fighters have come on.
Just wanna find